Well, that's the dinner. It's mushroom fried rice and some Boursin on bell peppers, beets, and yam. And 007 Goldeneye got top of the stack against these other Pierce Brosnan ones. I put Tomorrow Never Dies second, Die Another Day, and The World Is Not Enough was my least favorite of those. Then Slingshot, Ghostbusters, which I've reviewed before, Frozen Empire, The Strangers, Chapter 1, Horns, and Exhume. So, sorry, this is another dinner in the house because it's cold outside.
Cold enough.
So we're doing it in here.
We should be stargazing.
Oh, it looks like...
We reached the moon.
Yeah.
We being the United States.
Oh, no, Ow! Opie, don't do that.
Easy guy. I guess he needs his claws trimmed.
Well, he wants that yam.
Tan, yeah.
He said yeah.
And
He
then
looked right at me. He's like, that's exactly what I want.
Norton Star Atlas. And then Rock and Roll Stars.
Yeah.
So it's all about stars. Not that we'll get around to all of that
I don't
stuff,
know.
or maybe any
will.
of it. They got a lot of material to go through.
Yeah, I think this is it for the Pierce Brosnan ones. This was all I was able to get off the library shelf. I looked in the stacks for this. And actually, I really like these Pierce Brosnan.
Not that he's much of an actor, but he's kind of like eye candy, I guess, for women.
Sure.
And stuff like that. The funny thing is that, like he doesn't look as good looking as my dad, but on that's not a very complimentary picture. I don't know why they have him pouted that way. It makes him look kind of ridiculous. Some of the other photos were a little bit better looking.
He looks handsome.
Comes from close to Northern Ireland. My dad came from, his ancestors came from Northern Ireland.
Well, the look with the dark hair and the blue eyes, that's always nice, isn't it?
Well, my dad didn't actually have blue eyes. He was kind of greenish, whatever. But that is
nice
kind of fair skin,
yeah.
Dark hair, maybe lighter eyes. That's a typical Irish look. The look that for men in movies has been preferred for a long time. I think it goes back to Errol Flynn. And maybe even earlier than that. Movies don't go much earlier than him. But
all right.
And not just movies, like I don't know if Elvis Presley had much Irish in him. A little bit.
Now, I don't really remember why exactly I thought this one was better than the others or whatever. The Bond babe in this one, holy moly, smoking.
Holly Berry.
No, she's in another one, but she was really hot too.
Oh, there's that one picture is pretty amazing. I don't know why they put white. Do they have a white belt on her or whatever?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that.
Should have been all orange or something like that.
But no, it's that woman in the middle picture.
Yeah, I can barely see her. I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, I see.
But I got glasses in the pocket, but she looks pretty good looking. But anyway.
But anyway, so this one had the Bond babe was the woman from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I didn't know she was a Bond babe, but I don't know. I enjoyed this. There was, you'd expect she'd do a good job with the action and everything, but
okay.
If you like the whole.
Yeah, I know. It's all about action. It's not about acting. That's the weird thing. ACT is...
Yeah, which is amazing that those two did okay together.
I know. That's a big problem. Like, you can get good actors who pull along lousy or non-actors along, but when you get two lousy actors together, it's pretty bad.
Tough.
The worst perhaps I've ever seen is Mark Hamill and the woman who played Princess Leia. I think she ended up marrying Paul Simon of all things. Didn't last, of course.
Oh, weird. So, this one, Die Another Day, this was the one with Halle Berry in it. And I remember when this came out, I remember watching this. And I don't think I watched the other ones.
Yeah.
But
I don't think I've seen any of these.
But I didn't remember this at all. Yeah. I watched again, and it's all new. Because honestly, I think the Bond movies are made that way, so that you don't remember
them. Yeah, exactly right.
You could watch it again. You could probably go right from it finishes, and you could press play again, just like kids watch a Disney movie.
Again and again.
Again and again. And I don't think you'd really notice. You'd be like, oh yeah, there's Halle Berry in a swimsuit, whatever. So
Yeah, she's a little thin there, but
now I really don't know why this one got bottom under that. It's just I enjoyed all of these, honestly. They were all
good enough.
good
right?
good enough to watch and watch again. I could start right from the top and just keep going around like that. It would be a good way to spend my evening. That's how I've been spending my evenings. I watch a Bond movie, I go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
I wake up, I write a chapter in my book. And then I go type it up and then whatever, so it's fun. I'm having a good time. I didn't plan this. I didn't think I would ever write a mystery novel, but I think it's going pretty well. How
What
do
are
you
you
think
saying,
it's going?
about halfway through?
Just
I'm
about.
following.
Yeah.
That's good.
With this next chapter, I think I will be halfway through. So, anyway. Slingshot. So, yeah. Slingshot was enjoyable enough. The ending was... It was not a surprise.
Might have been a surprise for me, but I never figured. It's a mystery thing, is it?
Well, I guess it is supposed to be, sort of. They're in space, and they have this... I'm saying they. But anyway, they have this hibernation drug that they take
Okay.
to... and it's not... it has side effects, serious side effects, so paranoia and
Okay.
hallucinations, and yeah, so you're in space and it's not a good thing, right?
Yeah.
But
So
anyway,
these guys are space cadets, then?
yeah, they're in space, and what I found interesting about the slingshot idea, because I have written on my an easel that I use sometimes for planning things out, and I was using it for the poetry in the park stuff and whatever. And I have written on it, I have a slingshot idea, and I thought I could use it like a dry erase board, and it wasn't working out that way, and so I still have my idea. I was going to write a book about, it was going to be a science fiction novel about, and it was going to use the slingshot idea, but this one they're slingshotting around Jupiter.
Oh, you've heard, they talk about that, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll use the heavy gravitational field, much heavier than the Earth, to speed the thing up. I don't see how it works, because you'd think it would speed it up, and then when they're trying to get away from the gravitational field, it would slow things down. But apparently it doesn't work that way.
All right, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. The thing is it doesn't have a Ghostbusters whatever number on it, and so I forgot that. I was like, oh, have I seen this one yet? And I couldn't tell from the cover. It didn't remind me of anything, whatever. And I started watching, I'm like, I can't stand it, because there's an actor in here that I really, really, really can't stand. And then this is basically, it's basically a teen Ghostbusters story, which is just not as enjoyable for me. The Strangers Chapter 1.
They remade the Ghostbusters a while back. Sorry about that.
That's that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one?
Well, there's a couple now, I
Okay,
think.
a couple.
I don't know. Could tell you, but I've...
Sounds like a franchise then.
Yeah, whatever. So, The Strangers, honestly, it scared me. Like, I was watching it, I got scared, but I really don't think that there was enough story for...
I don't know if you get really scared. It's more like you
chapter.
Get kind of startled. It's,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get a startled reflex. But I don't think you really get scared about it. I would have been more scared. Like when you were not quite a teen when you started reading Stephen King, right?
10.
Yeah, there we go. So,
Anyway.
I think at that point...
No, I'd get
time,
very
I would have been
scared.
scared. Yeah,
When I was 10, I didn't figure it out. I didn't realize, oh, I am terrified because I am reading stuff that I shouldn't be reading, you know. But I was also, I think at that age, I was watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I would stay up on, I think it was on Friday nights, and I think it was late, maybe 11:30 or something at night. But a lot of the time I would wait for my mom to get home, and she was working a lot. She always worked a lot. So, yeah. And she'd volunteer too, which honestly, any organizations who ask people to volunteer when they have children, you're evil. You're plain evil. I didn't see my mom a lot because she was too busy volunteering for stupid things, whatever. I'm still mad about that.
But not at her. I mean, she's
No.
had a good sense of trying to help
Yeah,
people out.
exactly. But mad at
It's the
the people, the organizations who would ask her to volunteer, because of course she was going to say yes, because she's just that kind of person.
I know, it's like when the guy asked me to edit his paper. And not for money either, you know.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have done it for money, because I would have checked out really hard to see if it was his thesis. But it would have been his thesis.
Anyway, Strangers Chapter 1. There's parts in it where you go, why would she leave? Why wouldn't she stay right where she was, or whatever? She was safe where she was, or whatever. I don't know. It was a little bit frustrating that way. Or parts where you're like, why didn't he take the truck? Or whatever. I don't know. So you watch it and you're going, oh, okay.
That happens in almost every horror movie.
Sure.
Yeah. The classic is, why are they splitting up?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Horns. So I do like seeing Daniel Radcliffe in movies. Didn't like this one. I thought for sure this was getting bottom of the stack. The story is poorly written. It's not good. I mean, there's a bit of a mystery there and whatever. But, yeah, very disappointing. Exhume, you have to read some subtitles. Quite a few subtitles in this. And
Is it one language or several? I guess
Well,
it's hard to tell sometimes.
no, I think it's just Chinese, but... Oh, Korean.
Well,
Shows what I know.
they are quite different.
They're very different. I should have been
They're
paying
next door to
attention. That's
each other, but I think
Korean's more like Japanese. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, yeah, and there was some English in there, but this was long. I'm trying to find how long. 135 minutes. Too long. Not enough
2
story
hours and 15.
for
Pushing it.
that much time. Just, you know, after I'm getting near an hour and a half in the movie, and I'm like, oh God, just end it. Just end it.
Well,
And it just kept going. So, how do you like your rice today?
it's going fast, so
Good.
it's good stuff. Now, you'd call this stir fry, right?
Fried rice.
Fried rice, there we go. And there are stuff stirred in it, like
Well, I
mushrooms.
put onions
Awesome.
and mushrooms
Yeah,
and
very
cilantro
Yeah.
and coconut oil, the extra virgin kind, and better-than-bouillon. And that's it. Some rice. That's the rice today. And
Mushrooms are the thing I think.
I wanted to buy some sesame oil, but I went grocery shopping, and honestly, the prices were making me feel like crying. And going grocery shopping is my favorite thing to do. I love food so much. I love buying food, but yeah, it was just.
It's too bad so many
Pricey.
of them hurt you, eh?
Huh?
It's too bad so
Yeah,
many.
I know. It used to be a lot more fun grocery shopping, because now I'm like, okay, James gets Boursin,
Yeah.
because I can't have that. And
Well, the big trouble is, way back when,
Yeah.
you would have been having fun shopping, but not having fun with the after.
you're right,
stuff
and I just
you were
wasn't
shopping.
cluing in that
Mhm.
that was
Sometimes
why
it takes
I
a
was
long
getting the
time to
headaches.
figure out
Oh
what's
yeah, for
causing
sure.
problems.
Yep. Like, we were eating Tim Tam cookies, and I wouldn't have tried them, but I tried cookies and cream cake in a cup that we were given for free. Headache. And all it had was some, like, little chocolate chips in it and stuff, and I was like,
There's
man.
a chocolate.
And so then we were given a whole box of the double chocolate cake in the cups, and I thought, well, I'm gonna have some. No headache. And I was like, what? Double chocolate I can't have, but chocolate chips, like, or whatever. Chocolate chips I can't have, but double chocolate I can. It didn't make any sense to me. So I don't know what it is that gives me the headaches, because that didn't. And so then I had the Tim Tam. No headache. And I'm like, woohoo, Tim Tams all the way. And really, I mean, I shouldn't have that many Tim Tams anyway. But, so I don't know. I never know what's going to give the headache and what's not. Well, I know now, onions every time. But if it's just a little bit, sometimes I get just a little mild headache. It's okay. But it's really not worth trying.
Even me, onions sometimes not give me a headache so much. It's just I don't know, tightness in the head.
Oh.
Hard to explain.
Yeah.
And if I used to eat a lot, maybe a little tightness in the stomach and stuff.
Anyway, so that's all I have. So talk about your stars.
Okay. I think I'm going to finish this rice up.
Well, you have 13 minutes to talk about
I was going to
stars.
say 13 seconds.
Nope. Well, I don't know if the battery kicks out, you do. It's always hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. James doesn't want to talk with Mo. Anyway, kind of previewed this a little bit. We've reached the moon. It's a documentation of, I think it's basically New York Times coverage of the American space program leading up to the moon landing. So the Russians, the commies, sent the first thing into space, Sputnik, means fellow traveler. Put is, I suspect, is related to English path or something like that. You don't hear the similarity, but you don't much have much of it for linguistics. But so that's 57. Kennedy was elected in 60, and maybe in his inaugural address, early 61. He vowed, wasn't much promised, but vowed the Americans would put a person on the moon by the end of the decade. And he and his successor, Lyndon Johnson, set it up that way. And they're saying in here it costs a lot, but by comparison with what people spend on this, that, and the other things. And you see over there. I don't have a problem with the space program, unlike a lot of hippies in their latter-day successors. So this, anyway, this is a pretty good thing. I doubt if anyone's really much interested in it. I can remember, like after a while, they used to set up when they were, this is when I was in Calgary from 64 to halfway through 67, the first few months of 67, halfway. Oftentimes they'd let us watch stuff on TV, the American space program. I think people got bored with it. And the whole idea is you want it to be boring. And I think they ended up, the Americans did, the beginning of the Apollo program, frying 3 of their astronauts. Gus Grissom was one of them. There was another called White, and Charles White maybe, or something like that. Edwin White. And what's his first name up with Buzz Aldrin, I think. Anyway, and I forget the third guy. It's been a while. 1967 is almost 60 years ago, over 50 years ago, over half a century ago. Anyway, it's a pretty good story, really, if you're interested in these kind of things. But yeah, they did. The whole idea was to try to make it as boring as possible. These guys are a different breed of cat, I got to tell you. Like every so occasionally they'd suffer from a bout of nausea. I don't know how they must have had stomachs that were like cast iron, stuff like that, because they would, Edward White, not Edwin Wright, White, and Chaffee, Roger B. Chaffee, along with Gus Grissom, Virgil Gus Grissom. The guys who got fried in 1967 or thereabouts. They're still in Calgary at that point in time. And yeah, we left Calgary actually in the summertime. Came down to Lethbridge. My dad had to teach at how to write column. He kind of enjoyed that. Most people wouldn't. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty good detail to coverage of the program. That gives. I'm going to pull my glasses up for this one. It shows the rockets that were used to launch these payloads. So the thing that actually landed the moon was quite small by comparison with the thing that they sent out originally from, as they used to call it, Cape Kennedy. I prefer to call it Cape Kennedy, but I think it was the Reagan administration didn't like that because Kennedy would have been seen by the people in the South, including people in Florida, as a carpetbagger, a Yankee. So Yankee actually refers to a person from the northeastern part of the United States, and basically refers to someone who's kind of like a merchant, maybe not necessarily a capitalist. And you know, if a person calls a person from the southeastern part of the United States a Yankee, that's a severe misnomer. I'd hate to pull that sort of stuff, but yeah. So the Apollo Saturn V. So the Saturn was the thing that launched the Apollo, or at least the one that went and made to the moon. It's higher than the Statue of, did I say the Empire State Building? When I was telling Pauline about it, Statue of Liberty. So it's over. It was over 300 feet. So that's about 100 meters high for you folks.